Imagine the life of a boxer, an existence honed by meticulous preparations.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis, one of boxing's top stars, is gearing up for a highly anticipated showdown against Lamont Roach on March 1st. With fight night getting closer, excitement is rising, especially after new training camp footage from the Gloves Off series grabbed fans' attention. In a surprising turn, Davis suggested that this fight could be part of his final year in boxing, as he's thinking about retiring in 2025. Walking away at just 30 years old would be a huge shock, especially with so many major matchups still ahead.
Not really trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, I could do anything, especially in your backyard.
Gervonta Davis is putting in serious work at the gym, fully focused on his next challenge. This time, he appears more determined than he was against Frank Martin, and for good reason. His opponent, Lamont Roach, has a long history with him, making this fight a true test of both skill and willpower. Recently, Davis shared something unexpected, admitting that his biggest fear is being embarrassed and mocked by boxing fans. He's determined to avoid the kind of ridicule Frank Martin faced after getting knocked out by him just a few months ago.
An existence honed by meticulous preparations.
Catch the rim, baby. Catch the rim, baby. Dance with this shit.
Frank Martin's knockout was a brutal sight, captured in slow motion as Gervonta Davis's punch twisted his face, his lips and cheeks rippling before he crashed to the canvas and stayed down for the full count. That kind of humiliation is exactly what Davis is determined to avoid, pushing himself harder than ever in training. But this fight isn't just about intense workouts. The Gloves Off series has taken the hype to another level, featuring dramatic narration and electrifying footage of Davis and Roach's heated rivalry. Roach has vowed to humble Davis, while Davis has promised to dismantle Roach in the ring. With behind-the-scenes training clips, fiery interviews, and non-stop trash talk, the series has kept fans on edge. And with fight night just around the corner, the excitement has never been higher.
Catch the rim, baby. Catch the rim, baby. Dance with this shit.
In the first episode of Gloves Off, Tank vs. Roach, the narrator builds the anticipation for the fight, with Gervonta Davis naturally in the spotlight. Barry Hunter, introduced as Davis's trainer in the episode, shared a key insight about him. "Ever since I've known him as a kid, his biggest fear was losing," Hunter revealed. Hunter, best known for coaching DC fighters Lamont and Anthony Peterson, highlighted the deep determination that fuels Davis as he gets ready for his showdown with Roach.
What goes up, come down, my nigga.
Just covering the event.
Hunter remembered a young Gervonta Davis getting emotional at an Adrian Broner fight, overwhelmed by his own desire to have a big stage moment like that. Even back then, it was clear to Hunter that Davis would do whatever it took to reach the top. While some critics argue that Davis avoids risky opponents out of fear of losing, his dedication in the ring speaks for itself. His relentless work ethic has carried him to a perfect 30-0 record, proving that no matter who he faces, he always comes prepared to dominate.
He might be 30-0 on paper, but who the nigga for it? Yeah. So it looked good on paper, but there don't be nobody.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis, now 30, has suggested that his time in boxing may be winding down, saying he's accomplished what he set out to do. But before he walks away, he has one more challenge ahead: his showdown with Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The event, hosted by premier boxing champions, signals a shift in Davis's career path. However, with his recent change in mindset, fans and analysts are left questioning what's truly motivating this new chapter for the Baltimore Star.
Sir, come on, quick. Drop those hips. Nice. Come on. Give me that explosion. Rip.
Longtime fans are eager for answers about Davis's rumored retirement. especially with his longtime mentor, Calvin Ford, noticeably absent from recent fight announcements. However, the Gloves Off series hasn't revealed much on the subject. Despite the speculation, Davis looks sharp in training and appears fully focused. Even with talks of stepping away, veteran trainer Barry Hunter believes Roach could be one of the toughest opponents Davis has faced. Still, odds makers favor Davis to get the job done on March 1st, and nothing suggests otherwise. While the grind of boxing may be wearing on him, Davis hasn't lost his edge. He's still training at full intensity, showing he's far from finished.
Damn.
One of the most revealing moments from Davis was his admission that his biggest fear is embarrassment. "I'm not trying to go out and get my butt kicked," he said. This explains a lot about his approach. Despite his knockout power, he often starts cautiously, studying his opponent before taking risks. For Davis, it's all about survival, a mindset shaped by his tough upbringing. While flashy training videos can make any fighter look unstoppable, just look at those who thought Mike Tyson would destroy Jake Paul. Davis's deep fear of losing is what truly drives his preparation. He also clarified Barry Hunter's comments, saying it's not just about losing. It's about making sure he's never embarrassed in the ring. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is preparing for one of the most crucial fights of his career, but this time, the stakes go beyond just another win. On March 1st at the Barclays Center, he'll take on Lamont Roach Jr., not only defending his dominance, but also facing questions about his possible retirement. Despite his undefeated record and knockout power, Davis has made it clear his biggest fear isn't losing, it's being embarrassed in the ring. That fear fuels his relentless training, keeping him sharp and ready for anything. Meanwhile, Roach is embracing the moment, confident he can pull off the upset. With both fighters fully locked in and tensions running high, this DC versus Baltimore showdown is shaping up to be an electrifying battle that fans won't want to miss.
Do you want your legacy to be? If you care. Because some interviews I see you say like, yeah, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. Where you stand on that?
It's just like, it's so up and down in the sport. When I say up and down in the sport, it's like...
And let's be real, Davis's record speaks for itself. 30 wins, 28 knockouts. He's taken down top names like Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin without much trouble. But Roach isn't intimidated by the numbers. He's focused on shutting down Davis's strengths, one punch and one mental advantage at a time. He knows that Tank thrives on breaking opponents mentally before finishing them off, but Roach is determined to change the narrative. He's coming in with a calm, disciplined approach, sticking to his own strategy instead of reacting to Davis's every move. His motivation? Legacy and a life-changing opportunity. As Roach put it, the biggest motivation for this fight is proving I'm one of the best fighters in the world.
It'd be like, I don't know, it'd be little clips like you see how like me and him was talking and then somebody else talked like in his crew. Mm-hmm. That's what get me up. Like that's what make me like, I always want to prove to somebody that I'm like.
For Roach, this fight is about more than just winning. It's about cementing his legacy and proving he belongs among boxing's best. A victory over Davis wouldn't just elevate his career, it would change his life and his family's future. That kind of motivation pushes a fighter to go beyond his limits. Roach isn't leaving anything to chance in training camp. His team has carefully selected sparring partners who replicate Davis's speed, power, and relentless pressure. But Roach is standing his ground, focusing on movement, defense, and controlling the center of the ring. He knows that staying still against Davis is a dangerous mistake, so he's drilling evasive maneuvers and sharpening his counterattacks. His father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., has been a key part of his preparation, keeping him mentally focused and blocking out distractions. In the ring, Roach understands that the key is to hold his ground and not let Davis dictate the fight. Davis thrives on opponents' hesitation, but Roach has no plans to back down. From the opening bell, he's stepping forward, ready to seize his shot at greatness.
not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good.
Lamont Roach's strategy is straightforward: stay composed, stay sharp, and show Davis that he won't be intimidated. If he can stick to that plan, he has a real shot at breaking through the mental and physical barriers that Davis usually sets up against his opponents. Meanwhile, Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been keeping fans and analysts guessing with his unpredictable behavior. In recent months, the Baltimore native has made several shocking statements about his career, leaving many uncertain about his future in boxing. The biggest surprise came on Christmas Eve when Davis sent the boxing world into a frenzy with a sudden announcement. Out of nowhere, he claimed that his highly anticipated fight with Roach was canceled. There was no explanation, no follow-up, just a cryptic social media post that left everyone wondering what was really going on.
Talk to me about the mental preparation going to this fight with Lamont. Fans, they kind of sleeping on Lamont, but you know Lamont's fighting style. Y'all fought in the past.
People don't know him, but Lamont is a good fighter. Like he ain't no slouch. Like I fought him in an amateur.
Fans immediately started speculating, wondering if this was another one of Tank's infamous meltdowns. Davis has a history of unpredictable statements, but this one felt different. The timing was odd, and with no confirmation from his team, it seemed like he was once again stirring up uncertainty around his own plans. Just as doubt loomed over the fight, Lamont Roach and his father, Lamont Roach Sr., stepped in to set the record straight. They assured fans that the fight was still on as scheduled, preventing the situation from spiraling out of control. Despite the brief confusion, both fighters remained locked in, staying focused on the task at hand. Now, with all distractions pushed aside, Roach and Davis are fully prepared for their highly anticipated showdown on March 1st, 2025, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
There's a rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight.
Roach, like everyone else, was caught off guard when rumors of the fight's cancellation started spreading. While fans panicked on social media, he refused to get caught up in the chaos. During a recent Q&A session on his YouTube channel, Roach addressed the situation with his usual calm demeanor. When asked why people were saying the fight was off or that he had pulled out, Roach just smirked and shrugged. Gervonta Davis is a wild card, he said. You never really know what he's thinking. The 29-year-old Washington native admitted that dealing with Davis's unpredictability is nothing new for him. But instead of letting the rumors shake him, Roach stayed focused, keeping his mind locked on what truly mattered: fight night.
And I mean, it's going to go, Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference.
Roach has been through it all in his own journey, and he's not about to let any of Davis's antics throw him off track. He knows Davis well enough to understand that Tank moves on his own terms, often making decisions that don't seem logical from the outside. Whether it's a sudden tweet or a cryptic post, Davis keeps everyone guessing. But Roach isn't wasting energy trying to figure him out. He's locked in, sticking to his own plan, and refusing to be drawn into the distractions. Boxing isn't just about physical skill, it's a mental game, too, and Roach is making sure his mind is as sharp as his fists. I don't let that stuff affect me, he said. For him, it's all about preparation. He knows that a win over Davis could change everything: his career, his life, and his legacy. But right now, he's not thinking about the future. He's staying focused, tuning out the noise, and keeping his sights set on the fight ahead.
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the results.
Move ahead, bob and weave.
As the countdown to their Brooklyn clash continues, Roach remains locked in, pushing himself through an intense training camp that shows just how seriously he's taking this fight. His preparation is meticulous, leaving no room for error as he sharpens his skills for the biggest challenge of his career. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis is looking sharp and fight-ready, already close to his target weight. Unlike fighters like Keyshawn Davis, who pack on extra pounds before cutting down, Tank keeps himself lean and prepared year-round. Keyshawn often looks more like a welterweight before trimming to 135, but Tank doesn't take that approach. He's a natural lightweight, never relying on drastic weight cuts to gain an edge.
Be a party on your floor. I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the.
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say his cap? And it gotta be. You gonna say his cap?
Tank's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, has been noticeably absent lately, fueling speculation that they may have parted ways. Ford has played a crucial role in Davis's career, so his absence hasn't gone unnoticed by fans and boxing insiders. Leonard Ellerby, someone who has worked closely with Tank over the years, recently spoke about the situation during an interview on The Laboratory with Plas. Addressing Davis's recent comments about retiring after 3 more fights, Ellerby shared his thoughts, saying he understood why Tank might be considering stepping away. "I can understand where he's coming from. Things are different when you have kids. It completely changes your life," Ellerby explained.
Family's from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me.
Don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
pops.
On my kids.
Ellerby also pointed out how Tank's mindset has evolved over the years. He sees things differently than he did 6 or 7 years ago, he observed. When discussing Davis's talk of retirement, Ellerby added, "If he said he's retiring, we all heard him. But no, it's never good enough, no matter what you do." He explained that the nonstop pressure from fans and the constant demand for more fights can take a toll on a fighter. There's more to life than just what you do for a living. You respect the fans who pay to see you fight, but at the end of the day, you have a life outside of boxing. They want you to keep going, but they don't always think about your health afterward.
What? Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just cut it out. Huh? 100?
Ellerby recognized that while Tank's future in boxing remains bright, it's also becoming increasingly dangerous. Fighters like Andy Cruz, Edwin de los Santos, and Keyshawn Davis are all targeting him, and Tank understands the serious threats they pose. These are no easy fights, and even if he's confident in his ability to win, he knows each battle will take a toll on his body. At this stage in his career, he may not be willing to go through the intense training camps and physical punishment that come with these high-risk matchups. Ellerby also emphasized the unforgiving nature of boxing, highlighting its lasting effects on a fighter's health.
People who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit. Wait,
for
I don't
real.
give a fuck.
So y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
He got the whole hood over there.
Like, twisted up.
Ellerby suggested that while Tank may genuinely be considering retirement, the pull of boxing, especially the financial rewards, could eventually bring him back. With his star power, a carefully planned return against a top opponent could create massive excitement and deliver a record-breaking payday. In boxing, retirements are often temporary, and with so many hungry challengers lining up, the right fight might be all it takes to draw Davis back into the ring. For now, though, his attention is locked on March 1st, where he aims to remind the world why he remains one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Roach is making a daring jump to 135 pounds from 130 pounds, where he currently reigns as the WBA champion. He's confident he presents a much tougher test for Davis than Frank Martin, whom Tank stopped in 8 rounds last June. Speaking on Cigar Talk, Roach didn't hold back. "Respectfully, I'm not Frank Martin. Frank started boxing at 15. He didn't have the experience to be in there with someone as skilled as Davis. But I do. I have the same skill level, the same experience, the reflexes, and the IQ to match him." Roach has already battled Davis twice in the amateurs, coming up short by decision both times, but he views this as his chance at redemption. With both men locked in, this fight has all the makings of a thriller. That's a wrap for now. Stay tuned for the latest boxing news, updates, and highlights. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Until next time, stay tuned.